All right, Virgo just dropped another video, The Art of Not Explaining Yourself. Let's go ahead and get straight to it.
Have you noticed what happens when you stop reacting? When you quit explaining yourself? Something powerful shifts. People suddenly lose their control over you. Like it's almost immediate, and it's fascinating to watch. They don't actually need you to be silent, like they don't need your silence. What they need is your reaction, your defensiveness, your desperate attempts to be understood, your emotional outbursts. That's what they need. They feed on all of that energy. When you stop giving it to them, they have nothing to work with, nothing to manipulate, nothing to use against you.
That's facts.
Some people unconsciously structure their entire relationships around provoking reactions from others.
And that is crazy.
It gives them a sense of power, of importance. They need you upset to feel in control. The moment you stop playing that game, you take all of their power away.
Facts.
Not by fighting harder, but by not fighting at all.
Woo!
It's not about winning arguments. It's honestly about recognizing which ones aren't even worth having.
That is a perfect way to start it off with a segment like that. Damn. People build their whole life around folks just to try to get reactions and make themselves feel better. And they thrive off that energy. But if you don't give them that energy and you move according to silence and just do it through your actions, bro, they die off quick, bro.
Normalize not having to explain yourself to people. No, like for real, bro. Like you waste so much energy trying to explain yourself. Well, I'm doing this because of that. Like, yo, why? Because at the end of the day, those people that you're explaining yourself to don't even care.
They
just
don't.
being nosy. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I used to always try to explain myself whenever someone didn't agree with me on something. You feel me? And over time I realized it's pointless. And even if I did explain my reason on why I'm doing what I'm doing, you can understand it. But then what? What does that really change? Like I much rather just put in my actions and just show you instead of just telling you. You feel me? Actions are way better than just words. So that's how I live my life.
Kendrick Lamar on May 3rd, 2024 dropped one of the foulest diss
Incredible
tracks
intro.
known to man. He talked about Drake's kids, he talked about his parents, and said that people literally die over. Yet somehow, a year later, his biggest worries and biggest critiques is how much of a cutie patootie he is. Why is it that some people can do the most outrageous things, the most revolutionary things, and people don't seem to bat an eye at them? But it seems the moment that someone else, or maybe even you being that someone else, goes to even do a portion of what those people do, you seem to be heavily judged and scrutinized. Well, it's all simply due to an art that you don't understand and those other people do understand, which is known as the art of not explaining yourself. Let me explain.
The art of not
In life, there comes
explaining.
a certain point where certain people realize that people are going to feel how they feel and they're going to think how they want to think, regardless of what you say to them or regardless of however you try to convince or frame it. The main people that realize this normally are the successful people. This is why most celebrities are PR trained, because management teams and brands have realized it's better to say nothing than say something that people who already want to see you fail can twist and turn. This is why the Kardashians
Not giving them more ammunition. Damn. Not giving them more ammunition, bro.
are so successful after all these years. I mean, didn't Kendall Jenner's boyfriend Travis Scott a while ago had that whole Astroworld thing where people was dying and shit? They had babies at the concerts and shit. And instead of going on this extremely long tangent, ranting like, I'm so sorry y'all for what I did, they both just briefly addressed it and then went back to selling products the next week like nothing happened. They didn't over explain. They didn't try to convince people. They didn't try to show people that they felt so bad for what happened. They just addressed it and moved on, almost in like a stoic fashion. And if you know anything about the push and pulls of life, you would know that whenever you stop pulling against something, it automatically goes in the opposite direction away from you. And that's exactly what happens to Kendall Jenner and the rest of the Kardashians. Every time a culture vulture, a home wrecker, any allegation that comes up around any controversy surrounding them, they never respond, briefly address, and don't ever over explain. They don't care. so nobody else does. But see, if somebody else sees you over explaining, it's almost like subconsciously they pick up on that you're overcompensating because you feel that there's something lacking. See, the art of not explaining yourself is less about being nonchalant and more about you putting the power back into your own hands.
And being confident about this, what it is for what it is.
You give things power. What you focus on, the same as water and sunshine to a plant, makes it grow. So
This man knows his stuff though.
whatever you don't want more of, quite literally ignore it. Don't over explain of why you're not that or why you didn't do said thing. I mean, what are some of the most guiltiest people in crimes normally do?
Over explain.
Please, I'm sorry. I can't believe y'all think I actually did. I can't. Versus when somebody's innocent, they're just more like chill about it and they're like, nah, I didn't do it. And the reason why I didn't do it is because boom, boom, boom. They're not trying to overcompensate the truth because they just got the truth. They just know they're the truth. People who are rich, successful, and very confident, are they like, this is why I'm rich. Look at my chain. This is why I'm so rich because I did this song. I did that. No, you just see it on them when they walk by. But the person who's over explaining themselves is trying to convince. And to try to convince means you are not. It means to fool. This is why.
Facts. All right, look, man. This dude is speaking a lot of gems in there. And I have to say, if you not go check out this guy page, go check him out. I feel like he's super underrated. Shout out to Virgo. Seriously, man. Go check him out. He deserves it. The amount of work he puts in, and he puts out like at least 2 videos a day, I think. It feels like he uploads this high quality frequently, and it's very deep thoughts. So I had to stop before we get longer into this, and I'll rewind it back to really give this guy his props. I mess with him.
And to try to convince means you are not. It means to fool. This is why on the opposite side of not explaining yourself, the public perception of J. Cole over the years has changed. More times than not, when past situations came up surrounding J. Cole, anything controversy to beefs, he normally would just ignore it and never address. He was in his own lane and he never felt the need to explain anything because he is who he is no matter what anybody else says. But when the beef came up and he dropped the 7-minute drill, which honestly wasn't even that bad, instead of letting the message simmer, what did he do? He went on a tangent, he over-explained himself, and when sharks smell blood, they swarm.
So that fear had me moving in an unusual way, right? It had me moving in a way that I damn near was thinking about and listening to people's expectations of me and then responding off of that, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all.
You see, when you over-explain yourself, it makes you look weak. Because why are you trying to convince me of who you are or what your intentions were? If your intentions were what they were regardless, it shouldn't matter what anybody else tries to turn it into. Because you know in your heart what the message of which you were putting out there, regardless of what other people try to turn it into. And also, y'all, I'm not saying don't explain yourself to people. Like if your mom asks you where you're going, you're like, I'm just not going to explain myself. That's not what I'm saying.
That's common sense, bro. You better explain and talk to your mom, bro. Y'all better have some respect, man.
Or your girl's like, why were you out last night? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is think about the place of where you're explaining yourself is coming from when it comes to your art or just day-to-day in people. Are you explaining yourself to these viewers because you want them to like you want them to like your art, and you're scared of them misconstruing it? Are you explaining yourself to your girlfriend or your mom, etc., because you're scared that they're going to chastise you if you don't? Is it
I relate to that too. And sorry for the pause, but I gotta get some input in. I can't just watch the thing and not give any input. But I relate a lot to this because when I first started on YouTube, yeah, I will over explain a lot of things, mostly because it was insecurities, man. I feel like I didn't have enough to give as far as value of somebody want to watch my videos. But that started off like that to later on down the line, I began to find my own identity within content creation and get good at it and able to speak in a way to where it's not over explaining, but it's enough to where people get it. You know what I'm saying?
Coming from a place of fear, or is it coming from a place of genuinely you wanting to allow certain people I said in so they can understand your perspective a little bit more? Regardless of what it is though, it's your choice. So I say that to say, next time before you explain yourself, think about where it's coming from, because understand how you do anything is how you do everything. Yo,
yeah, shout out to this guy, man. I'm gonna have his channel in the description where you can go check out this video and his channel. So go check him out, show him some love. This guy puts in mad work. This is how it looks right here. Virgo, super underrated. This guy gonna blow up, man. I know he is. He just keeps doing what he's doing. I don't know. He might check out my video. and see this, but yo, Virgo, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing something that most people won't even have the courage to do to make this type of content. And for me, I'm fully 100% supportive. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, man, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one. Peace.